It wasn't wise.
Let's get to the last thing that I just don't like about the game of basketball right now, and it's the charges and the flopping. And don't get me wrong, there's a flopping aspect to every sport that works, manipulation of the rules. And the whole, if you're pulling up for a fadeaway type jumper, you kick the leg out a little bit. I'm not mad at that one because, someone may be in your space a little too much, but not close enough for the call. You're trying to milk the call. I got it. But that's kind of like in the flow of the game. But the way you see like the Trae Youngs, you know what I mean? When the man goes over top of the screen and bumps him a little bit, he's backing up and then putting the shot up. Again, the rules allow it, so I'm not mad at the player necessarily for doing it. But as a viewer, I don't like it because we're not rewarding aggression, right? Rewarding pacifism. And that takes me to the charge. I want to see the charge removed from the game of basketball. Not the offensive foul, but the no shit, I'm going to stand here in your way, hands over nuts, and you're going to run through me. That is not a basketball play. There is nothing aggressive about that. That is not real defense. Now, if someone drops their shoulder into you, call it. Or if you're standing your ground, whether your arms are up or you actually no shit jump up and they are forcing it, call the offensive foul because, again, they're giving themselves an advantage. But the idea that I can just stand here and just pose right here and we're rewarding that, I have an issue with it because it's not an aggressive play. It's a play that doesn't even align with anything else in the game. Like, tell me, like, at what point the charge, right, is something that you would naturally do in a game outside of using the rule that's there for you.
I can agree that it's not natural. No one's going to think, like, I'm just going to stop here, and then they run over me. But, like, if you go up in the air, that call's probably not going to get called. So, and then a lot of times, offensive players are out of control. This guy is there. He's allowed to have this space. And if you go through him, then there's got to be some repercussion for it. And they're going to get the ball back. So I don't think it needs to be taken away because I don't know what would happen in its place, because there are just too many times where a guy comes barreling into the lane. There's a defensive player standing there. I'm like, why do I need to jump? This guy was out of control. Or I was in the spot where they were cutting, they got the ball, and then just went straight into me. Like I think the charge needs to stay. I do think it's blown a lot. I think there are times when it's not a charge and it's called. It's the charge block is like the NBA's pass interference. It's missed too many times. The one I don't like is the player kicking the feet out because that comes with 3 free throws oftentimes. So that one I think is too egregious for what can happen. And then with the flopping, yeah, I hate it. What Trae Young's doing, what Kyle Lowry's been doing, LeBron's been doing a lot of it. I think they should honestly not in the moment review it because the NBA is already butchering review way too much and slowing down games. But I don't know why you can't go and look at that at after a game and post game be like, LeBron had a flop here. We're going to assess him a technical foul. So it starts to rack up on your technical fouls. The 16 is a suspension. And now LeBron's like, oh, well, I can't get too many more of these because I'm going to be suspended a game. Kyle Lowry, if he racks up 4 because he's flopping all the time, now he's got to watch his actual technical fouls. I just don't like how players get away with flopping all over the place, and there's nothing wrong with it. And, like, egregious flops, too. I think they should the best you can do is assess them attack after the fact and then hope it starts to deter some of those actions.
You'll see somebody's hand go across someone's face like this, and then they go, and it'll be that far apart, and it's like, oh, foul. Oh, bro, what? He just fell for no reason. Like, what are you calling?
Yeah, because realistically, if you're a ref and you miss it, you're like, why else would this grown-ass man be flailing backwards? And I did see the other guy's hand go up. You're going to think, oh, he, and if you catch it out of the corner of your eye, all right, you whistle it. But at that point, it's done. So I think you just got to go back and look at it. I do think the refs should be better about it, but there are sometimes the refs just aren't going to be able to catch it. And logic is going to set in and say, this must have been a foul.
And for me, if you don't catch it, damn, man, we missed that one.
Yeah,
What's wrong?
don't call it.
Because it's not like we get 100% of the calls 100% correct all the time, 100% of the time. And you talked about the review thing. Like, that shit is so much nonsense that we got to review charge block. Hey, bro, it's bang, bang call. Let's go. What he saw is what it is, unless it's challenged. All right, you challenge it, but just us reviewing it, just off Bucks now. I don't even like the challenge personally. I could do without the challenge in any sport. I get why it's done, but I want to watch the game. And you know, this is not all my original take, but you see so much emotion like being stripped from the game now because, oh, we got to go review this, we got to go review that. Like, hey, can we just play the game that we love?
Yeah, I think that the replay should really be like final minutes for calls that have to do with possessions. Like, who's it out of bounds on? Was it a shot clock violation or not? But like charge block, for one, it's too bang bang to go back later on and be like, oh, it actually was a charge. Oh, it actually was a block. Just leave it what it is. And I'm still iffy about goaltending. But I feel like other than who's the ball out of bounds on, did this ball touch the rim or not? I think it should just not be in there.
Or can we just have somebody upstairs watching the plays, and if it needs to be reversed, press a damn button. We got all this technology. You press a button. All right, we need a beep, hits the headset. All right, stop it. It's already been reviewed by somebody, and we're not taking the official on the court away to go look at a damn iPad.